Hi, Dave Spano, president of Annex Wealth Management. Through these videos, we try to educate and we try to inform folks. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is sometimes people are afraid to ask questions about money that's probably not proper. Well, we've asked business and social etiquette expert Margery Sinclair to have a conversation with us. Good morning, Margery. How are you?
Good morning, Dave. Well, thanks you.
Well, you and I have chatted about this before, but one of the things that we've noticed over time is people sometimes are afraid to ask questions.
Yes.
And when you're going to interview a financial advisor, for example, one of the first things people are afraid of is to ask their experience and how they get paid.
Yes. Because there's some old social rules against not talking about money.
Mm-hmm.
Now that applies to how much was your down payment for your house? How much did your engagement ring cost?
Right.
Those type of things we're not supposed to say.
Right.
But now we're in the business of talking about money.
Right, and that is true, and it's just it's about lots of things. You see someone's home or you see someone's car, and you go, "How much did that cost?"
Yes.
Not proper.
Not proper socially.
Right. But business-wise, it's probably okay.
Okay and necessary.
Right.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why is, when you're interviewing, particularly a financial advisor, you need to know a lot of these things.
That's right.
I think one of the things that people are really afraid to ask too is about credentials. One of the biggest questions is someone's background. I know we touched on it a little bit, but there's a pretty basic question that people should ask. What is the question when someone asked about background that you would ask?
Well, length of experience.
Right.
Where did you get your training? How long have you been doing this?
Right.
Who's managing your money?
Exactly.
Those kind of things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And as important, have you ever had a ding on your record?
Yes, that's really awkward to
Right.
ask about.
Right.
I would, but you have to ask it.
I think you do
Yes.
have to ask it.
Mhm.
And there's a number of questions that people should ask when interviewing.
Yeah, what's the phrasing on this? Have you had any disciplinary action? What can you ask really?
Exactly. You can ask that.
That way.
And it's public record, by
Mhm.
the way. And there's lots of ways that you can go and find that out. But if you go to any financial advisor's website, there's a button to click to check someone's background out.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's on our website, it's on
Mhm.
all financial advisors' website,
Yes.
and that is a rule by one of the regulatory agencies to put that out there.
Yes. Disciplinary actions. That you'd never ask someone that at a cocktail party. Someone you've met recently. Have you had any disciplinary actions in your career?
There is clearly a difference between social and business
And business
etiquette.
manners, yes. And so you can do things in a professional setting for business manners that might be considered ill-mannered if you were discussing the same type of thing with this person socially.
And so give us an example of how someone could ask, and I experienced this a lot. There's a super nice couple, and they're listening to me, and they're being polite, and they're shaking their heads up and down, but I know in the back of their head they want to know, how much do you charge? How could somebody ask that question?
Just about that basic.
Right, just
Yes.
come right out and
What
say
What
it.
are the costs involved here?
Right, and one of the things that we've also noticed is when just not coming out and asking those questions, but there's a lot of jargon in our business. For example, fiduciary.
Oh, yes. The first time I heard that word, I had to look it up afterwards. I thought it meant something kind of connected to Latin, meaning faithful.
Right.
Well, in general, that's correct, but it's more important that the fiduciary is required to put the client's interest above his or her own.
And that is exactly right.
And I didn't know that.
Right.
It's not an everyday conversation.
And it's funny because a lot of times we'll do some ads and I'll use the words and I'll see some of my friends and they'll say, "Oh, it's Mr. Fiduciary," and I'll ask them. I mean, these are smart people.
Yeah. Do you know what it means?
Do you know what it means? And they
Not exactly.
don't have an answer, or they take a shot at it.
Yes.
It's not particularly correct.
Yes.
So a number of questions that you have to come out and ask is, what is your experience? I mean, that's one of the,
Yes.
don't you think that's
how
a
long,
question?
How long have you been doing this?
Mhm.
And what did you do before this? So is this a lifetime experience, or have you had a few weekend training courses?
Exactly.
And now you're
Right.
going to manage my money.
Well, it was excellent. I really appreciate your time today. We've been talking to Margery Sinclair, business and social etiquette expert, and we'll see you again.